Hi everyone, Sue from Art Craft and Journals. Today I am making some faux stamps. Some of them I think are going to actually be more of an embellishment as well, because some of them are quite large. It really depended on the image that I had from the napkins, and I'll just quickly show you the ones I've done. These ones here were done with this particular book page. It was from a bird book. So they're a bit whiter. I'll just very quickly go through them. That one's a pretty one. And as you can see, that's quite big for a stamp, so it's probably more like an embellishment. These ones were done on vintage book page. It's the same. Some of the same images because I obviously use the same napkin. It's the same. So you can see how they've turned out, quite good. And as I said, some of them will be more embellishments than stamps. The other ones I did a little differently, and that's what I'm going to show you how I did them today. There's this one, and this one. This one, and a couple more, which I think is upside down. Alright, and just quickly, I might just show you a couple of these because the images are pretty much the same. See if you can pick up what's different about them. You may not be able to on the camera. I'll try and show you one that's maybe a little bit clearer. Okay, won't show you the rest. And the last ones are these ones. Okay, now the difference is that I didn't use book page, and the reason I didn't was I kind of did a few with the book page and thought, a little bit sick of that. What can I do that's different? So what I thought I would do is, well, if you don't even have your own book pages too, that's another thing. I actually made the book page or the page behind, and simply all I did was stamp onto, this is actually a cream piece of paper, but you could use any colour, I guess. It just happens that I've got a whole bunch of this, I think it's called foolscap was the size, cream paper. So I thought I would try and use that up. So all I did was stamp a background using a script stamp, and I actually did use a music paper stamp as well for some of them. And this one here, this background here was actually an Asian style stamp, so Asian writing stamp. So I'll just do a few more of those. And I have, of course, put all the stamps away that I was using. Okay, this is the Asian stamp, and I believe it's a Kaiser Craft one. So, not too hard to get hold of. But it does give an interesting background. That wasn't so great, but if I had a bigger stamping block here, I'd use that. But I do only have one bigger one, and for some reason, it's not here. That was interesting. Okay, now I'm just looking to see what I did with my music one. I'll be back in a moment. This one, it's a darkroom door background stamp, and it's sheet music, and apparently it covers an A6 card front. I actually really like this one. It's music, it's got music script or music note paper, but it's a little bit smaller, so it's quite handy to if you don't have music paper or you don't have a small piece of music paper. Now we'll see how we go without a stamp. I'm just going to pop that under there because I don't want to ruin my mat. Of course, if you've got a stamping block, stamping press or whatever they're called, you could use that, but you know, yeah, it's not very dark. It does come out better than that normally. Never mind. You get the idea. Alright. I think my StazOn might be starting to get a little bit dried out, particularly with this warm weather too. It doesn't last very long. Okay, so all I did then was pretty much the same as I've seen Gail does it, Rachel from Roxy Creations, I believe Tina from Shabby Dabby Dooda's also done the stamps similar using napkins. So it's basically the similar sort of concept. It's just that you're making your own background. I thought this cat napkin was particularly cute with the cat images. A little bit different for stamps, I think. So I thought I'd give that a try. Actually, the image is actually on that side, on the first layer too. Okay, so I'm just going to trim them a little bit so they're not quite as big. It's actually really hot here at the moment. It's probably about 11 o'clock in the morning, but it is really quite warm. I can feel the heat building up in my craft room. In probably a couple of hours I actually won't be able to work in here. It'll be just too hot. So I try to get things done in the morning where I can in this room, because it just gets too hot and stifling. One of the downsides of living in Australia is our really hot, and in Victoria in particular we get very dry heat. We don't often get the humid heat that they get up in Queensland. We just tend to get really dry. And of course I can't get the backing off here. Yeah, really dry heat. Okay. And I just want a couple of the smaller roses. So, oops, just trimming them reasonably close to the actual image, because I don't want them too big. I'm hoping that these will be smaller than some of the ones I've just made. Let me see, how do I get to that one? I tend to do them square, but you don't have to, of course. You can trim around them if you like. I'm going to trim around this one because I like it and I'm going to use it. I have an incredibly large supply of napkins. Every time I go somewhere and I see some napkins that I think are nice and I can use, I buy them. I tend not to spend a lot on them though. I try to get the cheaper packets. In a lot of the cheaper stores here we pay $2, sometimes $2.50. But I try not to buy any that are more expensive than that, especially when you're cutting them up. It'd have to be a really special one for me to pay too much more. But I do have some that I've got from online, from overseas, because I really, really wanted them. I do have, oh, I like that one. I might cut some of those ones. I do have some too that I've received in swaps or as Happy Mail. I do have a friend who loves collecting napkins as well. So whenever she buys a bundle of them, she sends me a couple my way. And I'll do the same for her. So we have quite a variety between us, I guess. But I do have two boxes full now. So what I might actually do is, anyone who's interested, I might have a little bit of a draw. I might put some in a package, I don't know how many. And if you mention the word, oh, I don't know, butterfly in the comments, I will put you in a draw and hopefully you'll be the recipient of a bunch of napkins. Okay, I might just leave it at that for the moment. Alright, and I'm using gel medium, and it's in my little travel pack, as they call it. And simply, you just glue it down like you would glue the on a book page. It's no different. Just leave enough room for the cutting with the zigzag scissors. And interestingly enough, these scissors that I've been using are actually dragon back scissors. So they're not zigzag, they're dragon back design, which I thought was quite amusing. Okay, just quickly over the top. Alright, now I'm sure you can all do this, so I won't spend too much time doing this. I just thought you might be interested to see some that have a slightly different background. They are quite addictive, I must admit, to make. And easy too, really. Relatively cheap. And of course it does take a little bit of time for these to dry. So I may actually come back when they're dry to cut them out. I would advise using the Stays On ink too, or an archival ink, one that's a permanent ink, because I think I will use that, because if you're applying the gel, it may make your it run, the ink run. And one more up here. Okay, so I will come back when they are dry. Alright, all dry now. So what I'm going to do with my Stays On, I'm now going to do the postmark part of the stamp. Now I do have two little postmark stamps. The top one is from this Heidi Swap set. Sorry, that way. And that one's just called Stamps. And then I do have the bottom one is from, and I've lost the packet, it's a Kaisercraft stamp. So I will use those, and I'm going to stamp onto the sheet itself so that we don't, so we get some overlapping really. Pretty much just random actually. Okay, now use the other one. And then we simply cut them out. Just leaving a little bit of an edge between the end of the napkin. Oh, these scissors. If anyone has a decent pair of these sort of craft scissors, oh, I'd like to know what brand, because I've got several different ones and none of them really are that good. These ones seem to get stuck, I don't know. I do have another pair here actually. See if these are any better. These are a little shorter in the blade, which is why I chose those ones, but we'll see how we go. Well, they appear to cut better. I quite like this one actually, because the background was faint. It doesn't overpower the actual flower, which is kind of nice. I have to sacrifice some of the butterfly. I will show you them all in a moment when I've cut them all out. Okay, so the next step is just to distress the edges a little bit, and that's just a matter of simply, probably black soot might have been better, but I don't have my black soot distress ink. I'm not sure what's happened to it. I haven't been able to find it for a little while now. Now this one, I'm just going to give it a little bit more of a trim. Just a little bit on the edges. I didn't want to do too much. Now because this one is a lot bigger, I'll probably just use that one as an embellishment on something. And I do plan to do some more videos using some napkins, because I have so many of them, as I've already explained. I've really just got to use them up. I may actually this year do quite a few sort of stash busting type videos, because yeah, I've got too much stuff. That's it. That's what it is in a nutshell. I have too much stuff, so need to get rid of some. So I may actually do a few more Happy Mails this year too, as well. Get rid of it that way. And look, most of it's good, which is why I've got it. But you've got to draw the line. You've got to. I'm going to try not to buy too much this year. Okay, so very quickly, that's that one. That one. Oops, some little flowers. And the little cats. More cats and flowers. Okay, and more cats and more flowers. Okay, so just a quick video to show you just a little bit of a different background to using your book pages and things. Of course, you can use different stamps as well. It's entirely up to you. That's about it. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you're new to my channel, welcome. It's always nice to have some more people to share what we're all doing. And I do try to subscribe to other people as well, because I like to watch a variety of videos myself. And I like to get some new ideas, some inspiration. So, yeah. Alrighty, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.